Hey, Jonas, you there?
Hey mate,
How's it
just in
going?
case you haven't been informed, I think there's a bit of a delay on both servers.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
just
in.
been camping in the race chat.
Oh, gotcha. I'm in the server for server two, but it's just practice has got like 6 minutes left. I was just about to go live, sort of thing, just about now.
Cool. Just wanted to let you know in case you were confused.
Nah, no dramas at all. Thank you for that.
Cool. Have
Enjoy
a
the
good one.
race.
Yeah, you too.
All right, so what we're live now, I think. Yeah, awesome. Currently on board with nobody. We've got JK in the pits. Let's jump to somebody on the track. We'll start with Statue. Semi-slick racing. Currently sitting in P4. This is just practice. We've got about 5 minutes left of practice for this round 3 of the AMS2 Community Cup. AMS2 Community Cup, sorry. We're in the Chevy StockCar V8s, driving around the short version of the Watkins Glen with this bus stop chicane. Big, powerful V8s. Might as well check out some of these beautiful liveries on these cars as they go around. So as I said, we've got a statue here. This is the semi-slick racing, beautiful green, flowy sort of stripes. Here we've got Daniele for RRC in the red and white. Bold red and white colours. Very quick there. Both RRC times currently, drivers currently at the top of the times in practice. Plenty of really fast drivers in this race. This is going to be quite close, I'd say. And we've got P4 now. We've got Mauro De Rocco. That's the independent livery. Driving for himself tonight. Got Nessie in the green NRT car. Sorry, green. What am I on? That's orange. It's a beautiful orange NRT livery. Nomads Racing Team. Dun Dun Gizmo. Previous race winner. Driving for the Racing Engineers, TRE. I'm a big fan of this livery. I like the contrasting details on the front and the back. Looks really nice. As he's getting passed on the outside by a 10 tenths car. Johnny B, KCSR in the pits. He's just leaving the pit lane now. Got that classic KCSR livery. White and black with the sort of a neon metallic-y colours running through the middle. It looks really good. The big bold KCSR logo on the side. It's redacted. Another 10 tenths car. Not the best time to check out Jacob and his slipstream livery, but that is a nice livery nonetheless. I'm always a fan of the checkered flag pattern that they incorporate. It's got almost like an old school feel to it. It just looks slick. Steve Kenwood in the Club 50. Very Golf-esque as far as the colours go, and the American flag on the hood. I'd say that's a nod to the combination being Chevrolet and an American racetrack as well. A nice little nod to that there from Club 50. Ricky Risotto of SRGP with the subtle yet not understated gold, white and black. I quite like that colour combination, and they always have some unique designs in their liveries. Here's Lausanne in one of the AMSU cars. They have two different colours on their cars, so first being this blue, and the other car being Grandpa Bear, and they're both in the blue. I do know they have an orange one and a blue one, but both the drivers choosing the blue livery. Then we've got Jake, the highest, quickest so far out of the 2 RPM drivers. He's paired up with Roy, currently in the pits. And then we have the opposite to the first NRT car, the black with the orange stripes here, driven by Chris. Gonna be a lot of slipstreaming in this combo tonight. People running too wide into this bus stop chicane. Could be quite exciting. It's a 60-minute race. Variable dry weather. It's probably going to be 49 laps, but it could push to 50. Lap times will be in the high 111s, as you can see there. Low 112s is really good. This is quali though. Might be slightly higher in the race. Probably not too much. Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of people running into that bus stop chicane too wide. It's going to be pretty scary. But also that's going to be probably some of your better overtaking opportunities on this one. These cars have a push to pass feature. And with the push to pass, it gives the drivers a bit more power when they push the button. They get 15 button activations in a race. And there's a 5-second delay once they push the button before they get that power, and they're able to. It comes on for 15 seconds, and then there's a cooldown period of 100 seconds where they can't use the boost again, the push to pass again, until that has elapsed. You can use once every 120 seconds when you add that all up. Best place to use that is probably going to be into turn 1. But you can only do that once every couple of laps. SSRC and MVRC are actually only 5 points apart so far in the Community Cup after 2 rounds. And we've got some really quick drivers in here again with Statue and SSR, JK and MVRC obviously. But RRC, who have been holding those top spots for most of this practice, are also going to be trying to get amongst it and try to get up there with those boys in the championship too. So just coming to the end of practice now. Oh, not good. Been disconnected. Let's get that fixed. A short hold while I try to get back into the session. Was booted from the multiplayer. If you're just joining now, qualifying should be starting. Try again. Not ideal. I might have to give it a couple of minutes to let that session continue on. I'll try again in a minute or two. Comment from Fancy in the chat, that helps me out quite a lot. Just to update you, Roy is restarting the server. Appreciate that, Jake. Appreciate that. So I will hang fire. Hello, Cy in the chat. Yeah, so as you can see, servers restarting shortly, just some technical issues. We'll be back to the action very shortly with qualifying. Who's your dad, Cy? I can let you know which server they're on now. Alright, we are back. Straight into qualifying. 15-minute session. Who's going to be first out the box? One of the RRC cars. Not that one. They're all piling out now. Here we go. The action is underway. Club 50 car, RRC car, RPM car. Next one out, MVRC. Then we've got a KCSR. A couple of 10/10 cars, followed by an SRGP. Currently on board with Redacted. We've got two different, we've got the red and the blue accents, showing the differences between those two 10/10 cars. It's unfortunate, Jonathan. It's not nice to have technical issues, but I'm sure you'll be back. It's always a bit of a downer. Yeah, I have to be content watching instead, definitely. Enjoy the action. I'm sure there'll be some carnage. Other people will have some heartbreak too. Gonna check out statue of semi-slick racing. Lag Slug saying, let's go 10/10. We were just on board with them as they were riding line astern on track, going out and qualifying, perhaps setting up some drafting, some slipstream. Maybe they'll take turns at that. I'm sure a bit of team play will come into it with that. It's got to be worth a decent amount of lap time. Jonathan yelling out, go Gizmo. Dun Dun Gizmo, a previous race winner from this series. Driving for the Racing Engineers. Extremely quick. First times coming in now. We'll start you with that 112.6 and Mattia going ahead with a 112.3 just behind him. Let's jump on board for a bit with JK in the shiny MVRC car. JK always a contender for the top spots, especially in pole, in the fight for pole and the race win. Ooh, he's got a car just going loose in front of him. He's not going to get too much in the way though. Someone sliding straight off into the wall there. .24 cars on track. It's a really short track too, with a lap time of a 112. Finding a clear space without someone getting in your way, slowing you down, is going to be just as hard as setting a quick lap itself, I'd say. And JK improve on his 112.7 here. Not this time around, but others are. Mattia now up with a 112.78. He goes straight back to the pits. Dun Dun Gizmo not far behind with that 111.8. All over the back of that KCSR car. Just about pushing him down the straight. Let's give some attention to this beautiful slipstream livery that Jacob's driving. He's currently on a 112.5. I'm a big fan of these liveries. I like the fading between the colours and then the classic checkered flag pattern. It gives me a retro sort of 90s vibe almost, and I'm a big fan of that. It's my era. Here we have Nessie's bright orange with a black stripe NRT car. Currently on a 112.7. There's a lot of drivers in that 112, a mid 112 bracket. This midfield, just like the previous races, just like all of these races, so highly competitive. This midfield is going to be extremely hard fought. You're going to have bunches of cars all race long, fiercely fighting for position. Pit strategies are going to come into it a lot, I'd say, with trying to get out of some of these packs and get some space to push on. Not far behind Nessie is Lasan in one of the pale blue AMS2 cars. I quite like the colour combination on there. It's blue. There's plenty of blue cars out there, but they've used like a combination of blues to give it its own sort of style and accent. Jake on the edge of that mid 112s now in the RPM liveried car. Yeah, Jonathan, that TRE livery, I couldn't agree more. I'm going to have to go ahead and say the TRE livery, where is he? There he is, Gizmo. The TRE livery is my favourite one this round. The contrasting details, the yellow on the blue and the yellow on the orange at the back, it just pops. I couldn't agree more. Someone's put some decent effort into that, and it's been well worth it. It looks amazing. We ride on board with this ads of 10 temps. We can see the back of that TRE car. Slipstream might even get us a little bit closer to him. A harm special. I'll keep that in mind. Really nice. Oh, not the best time to jump on board with Grandpa Bear. Let's check out Ricky Risotto in the SRGP. Just exiting the pit lane. Cold tyres, trying to get them warmed up with 6 minutes of qualifying left. Currently down in P19. You'll move up a few spots if you can just shave off a couple of tenths. Coming through the bus stop now. A long, forever right-hand turn. Then we come into the final left-hand, right-hand sequence, which will take you back to the main straight or the pit entrance, whichever way you want to go. So here's the left-hander. You can run pretty wide on there with track limits. And then here you're either going to keep really tight to go in the pits or just really gas it. Keep going. check out Slayer 72. Currently on a low 112, 112.3. He's in that. Everyone in that midfield pack is in that at that point where if they shaved another tenth or two off, they'll jump up at least a couple of spots. So tightly wound. We've seen some movement. I should have been keeping an eye on the top. We've now got JK running quickest overall in that provisional pole spot in that metallic MVRC car. MVRC currently leading the standings by 5 points. This is going to help their cause if JK can stay there with a 111.5 basically. Sub 111.47. Very fast. Got a couple of attempts to P2 at the moment, which is Mattia in the RRC car. Yeah, very generous track limits around there, Lagsuck, and I imagine all of these guys will have been really testing how far they can push them, because you definitely got to maximize it. It's going to look quite ridiculous on some corners, but if you're not doing it, you're not going fast. The Mattia here obviously trying to take back that pole. Needs to find a couple of attempts to get that back off JK. It's right on board with Mattia on this lap and see if he can take pole back. Now, geographically speaking, I am hosting this live stream in New Zealand, right on the other side of the planet, so you may get a bit of lag issues with regards to the onboard shots especially. Just ignore that. The drivers are much better than it looks. The corner that never ends. Really maximizing the whole track there on entry and exit. I don't mind a bit of lag slug says. Well done. Touche. Closing stages of quali now. Just over a minute left. If you have not started a lap now, you will not be getting another one, I would say, looking at time left on the clock. Oh no, actually you've got... No. Call me very wrong. Call me very, very wrong. You got a lot of people still to start a lap. You got a lot of people still coming around in that sort of second final sector now that'll get that flag in time and get another lap started. Well, we've got the last cars coming over the line now that'll be able to start a lap. Currently on board with Statue, currently sitting in P3, needs to find a few attempts if he wants to get that pole position. Ah, on the limit. Just over it. Done Gizmo now. Straight into the pits. I think that's it. I think JK has pole. Well done, JK. MVRC. That's a convincing pole position too, that one. A couple of tenths. Just over a couple of tenths to P2. Top work, JK. Awesome job as well by Mattia. RRC, 111.7. And in P3, Daniele, RRC. Oh, wait. What's going on here? Why is that change? Has JK been dropped from the session? His name has just dropped off the leaderboard. Oh, quite a few people have been chucked out by the looks of it. There's only 20 people left in the session. That's not good. They probably won't be able to get back in for the race. Let's hang fire and wait for some comms. We'll see what happens. But we did have JK at the top of the times at the end of quali with that 111.47. He's not there now. And P2 was Mattia. Then we have Statue with that 111.7 and P3 effectively. Looks like we have had a driver join. I don't know if that was before or after quali ended. Not ideal. Oh, both 10 temps is missing, says Lakes. Like, yeah, so I can't see who exactly it is who is missing. I can just see that there's about 4 people missing. 4 or 5 looking at the total people in the lobby. That's a huge shame. I don't know if they're going to be able to fix that. If I get booted, then there's no broadcast. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Alright, yes we are going ahead. Looks like Slaying Race will go ahead, but might be rerun at the end of the season. Yeah, that would realistically be the only fair thing to do. Losing 5 drivers like that through disconnection is massive. That's a big chunk of the competitors, to be honest. Especially when you've got a whole team missing as well. It's not great. Alright, so these guys have to wait the whole 2 minutes because I do not click ready. And then I will jump into the monitor and check out the race start as quick as I can. Unfortunate way to get this underway. But might as well run the session, whether it counts or not. It's never nice to have technical issues deciding the outcome of things. Alright, just about there. Good luck, racers. Get ready for action into T1. And they're off. 2 RRC cars out the front here without JK there. They're going to be running 1-2 from the get-go out of T1. Dun Dun Gizmo's not going to want to let that happen though. He's going to want to try to put that Racing Engineers livery car in between them at least. Best shot to do that's on this opening lap, so let's see what happens. We've had some action. A few cars back. Car 15, Chris Gezza's still trying to get back on the road. Let's jump on board with Dun Dun Gizmo. Matthias put a slight gap on Danielle. He's got like a second on him already. And Dun Dun Gizmo is all over that rear bumper of Daniele. Daniele under some serious pressure here. Equally, Johnny B under insane pressure from Stachu in the semi-slick. There's two semi-slick cars behind him. We've got a top 6 bunch here. Behind that, you've got Nessie and Jake battling over P7 and P8 for RPM and NRT. Love that camera shake as they come through there. Here we go, we've got Gizmo on the outside. Can he make this work? He does. He slips himself up into second. Is he going to be able to reel that gap into Mattia? We know Mattia has some serious insane pace with race wins and podiums previously. But Dun Dun Gizmo also has a race win, so does he have the pace here to close that gap to Mattia and give us a real thrilling fight for the win? Can Daniele and Stachu stay with them? Also Johnny B and Dustin. Johnny B actually ending up at the behind both of those semi-slick racing cars now. It's right on board with Daniele as he's just been a bit bullied there by the SSR cars. They've managed to find their way through, and the slow exit's given Johnny the run. So Daniele filtered down to P6 there after running P2 at the start. Not out of it though, it's early on. We're only about 4 minutes into this hour-long race. Looking for somewhere, just filling up Johnny's mirrors. Really doesn't want Johnny to feel comfortable. All this fighting in this group here is actually giving Jake from RPM a chance to close up on them, up onto that P6 of Daniele. He's managed to stretch his way away from Slayer and Nessie, who are fighting over P8 at the moment. So can Jake close up onto Daniele here, who's also dropping away from the back of Johnny? We don't know if Daniele perhaps has an issue or not, or what may be happening. Maybe a bit of fuel saving? Not too sure at this stage of the race. But Jake for RPM definitely closing up on him here. Meanwhile, the battle between Johnny and Dustin is fierce. They're stuck to each other. Coming up to the final left-right sequence here. Here they go, running too wide, coming into the bus stop chicane. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be braver on the brakes? It's Johnny. Johnny takes the spot. Up to P4 for Johnny of KCSR. So interestingly, without JK here, we now don't have either of the MVRC drivers in the top 3 spots. We do have one SSR up in P3, so if this did count for points, it would be a big blow to MVRC, but again, I doubt that would be very fair, because through no fault of his own, JK's not in the session after qualifying on pole. Want to check out the battle between Nessie and Slayer, actually. They are pretty well stuck together as well, fighting over P8. Nessie going on the sneaky inside line up the hill, which turns into the outside, which then turns into the inside again. But it does leave him behind now, so he's got the draft. Can he do something with the draft? Probably a little too far behind to really actually do anything from there. So drivers most likely took a full tank of gas, and they are going to have to stop for fuel and tyres at some point in this race. There will be some strategy as to when they do that, though. Some people may feel that they'll benefit from pitting a little earlier to get some clear track. Some will want to stick to their plan and go really long and make the benefit of a lighter fuel tank. So it could be interesting. We could see some different approaches as we get a bit further into this race. Still not even 10 minutes in. We're on lap 7. Very short lap. Oh, it could have been contact there. Nessie went for the inside, but he didn't look 100% in control of it, and that's actually going to bring Mauro De Rocco into the fight. He's going to slide past Nessie there as he tries to hunt down Slayer of MVRC. He slips back in behind Nessie after Nessie just had the optimal line up the hill. Let's go back up further up the front a wee bit because we have pretty close fighting going on for some of these positions. It's quite the wee pack here. From Dun Dun Gizmo down to Jake. So from P2 to P7 you've got quite the bunch. If we jump on board with Jake, you can actually see the whole train. Can sort of just see Matia in the distance in P1 as well. So we're on board at the back of the train here for P2 to P7. They're gapping Slayer in P8 at the moment. It does make you wonder if Nessie or Rocco were able to get past Slayer, would they be able to close up this gap and join this bunch as well? Because apart from Matia, who's stretching his legs for 3.2 seconds now, this really is anyone's race for P2. When you take strategy and the pit phase into account. Oh, we might have had a disconnection for somebody. P11 is stuck. That's Jake. I think that might be Jake with a disconnect. Oh, that's horrifying. Extremely unstable server today by the looks of it. That's less than ideal. Oh, you gotta feel sorry for these guys. Heartbreaking. We're back with Dun Dun Gizmo here, who leads this train of, well, P2 to P6 now. Now that sadly Jake has gone. It is showing Jake in P1. We've got some strange things going on here. It's all the while, all the strange happenings are going on, and these guys are still just fiercely fighting. So Statue in P2 with Dun Dun Gizmo in P3 now. Johnny B still holding that P4 spot with Dustin in P5, Daniele P6. Slayer now inheriting P7 after Jake's unfortunate demise through disconnect by the looks of it. It's heartbreaking to see that kind of thing happen. I know how bad that feels. So, and especially to the guys who qualified so well and then were disconnected before the race start even. Dun Dun Gizmo, can he take the P2 back? This could be a fight till the very end. Jump back to Matia and RRC. He is cooking out front. Still got about that 3-second gap. Mattia's proven time and time again just how consistent and rapid he is. Can often take the lead and just walk away. Leaving these guys to fight for the crumbs, so to speak. Check out Dustin versus Daniele, because I think they just swapped positions. Probably the closest fight on track right now. Besides, I dare say, the fight for P7. Right behind these guys. Here they go, side by side into the chicane. Going to be Dustin that comes out ahead. So now we've got Dun Gizmo's been overtaken by Johnny B. Johnny B now up to P3. Was that a mistake from Gizmo perhaps? Because he is harassing Johnny now. He is giving him a push. Johnny doing well here for KCSR. Not putting a foot wrong. Seeing him in a podium position at the moment. Right on board with Dun Dismo. Get a little view of that detailed hood. Part of this 234 train, was led by Statue in P2. We've also got a pretty hectic train back here, P7, P8 and P9. That's Slayer up the front there in the metallic blue MVRC car. He's in P7. Nessie in the bright orange NRT car right behind him, and then we've got Mauro following them both in the independent livery. So we've got some very clearly defined groups on track now. These guys will be aiming to finish ahead of each other ultimately, hoping to pick up other positions as drivers potentially have issues. Jumping back to Gizmo here, following in that 234 train. I think I'm actually going to ride on board a couple of cars back with Dustin, because Dustin in the other green car, he is trying to get alongside Daniele in the RRC car, teammate to Mattia in the lead. Mattia doing everything he can to try to get back up there, fight with, Daniele doing everything he can to try to get back up to fight with Mattia. P12 and 13 getting feisty as well. We've got Lazan for AMS2 and P12 with Chris for NRT and P13. They were pretty well glued together, I saw on the mini-map. I've got Jacob with Slipstream Racing just ahead of them in P11. This little wee train is I think it's about 5-6 seconds back from that P10 of the Club 50 car of Steve Kenwood in P10. Yeah, he's 17 seconds off the leader. I think we've had some issues on track here because Johnny is way down and Statue is way down. I missed that. I didn't see what happened there. But we've got big gaps between P1 and P2 now, and big gaps between P2 and P3. And your previous drivers in 2 and 3, Statue and Johnny, are now down in P5 and P6, 13, 14 seconds off the lead. So unfortunately didn't see what happened between those two. It could have been contact between the two drivers potentially. But either way, that sadly sees them now down in P5 and P6. Daniele now inherits the P3 spot, albeit 12 seconds off his teammate. And he's got Dustin right behind him. Dustin, who's now fighting for a podium spot when it was fighting for P5. So a little bit more to fight for now. As you notice, the weather's turned a bit hazy. We're back with 7, 8, 9 and 10 in the mid-pack here. These guys will not leave each other alone. Slayer all over Nessie. Nessie unfazed though. He knows he's just got to stick to the line, keep to his pace, and there won't really be a way through. Gonna check out the leader now. He's got a 5-second lead over Dungeon Gizmo, but we better give him some credit for it. He's doing an insanely good job here, Mattia, for RRC. Just consistency all around. Just consistently pulling that gap. The fight for the podium is still on though. Because Johnny B and Statue are bringing themselves back into this fight. In fact, let's check out Johnny and Statue because they are not done scrapping themselves. So I don't think it'll be too long until these two are on the back of Dustin and Daniele fighting for P3 again, and then we'll have a nice wee train fighting for that third and final podium spot. As long as they don't do too much damage to themselves. Riding on board with Steve Kenwood in the Club 50 car in P10. We're following the battle for P7, led by Nessie. Slayer going a little wide there, giving the spot to Mauro. Oh! Oh, this can't be another disconnection, surely. Oh, here we go. Is he going to be brave on the brakes? He is. He is. But he's gone in too hot. And it's caused him to lose the spot again. It was a valiant effort. And he did well not to lose the car completely as well. Both drivers did well not to make contact. This car's still just stationary in the middle of the track, I believe has disconnected. It's unfortunate to see, but these things do happen from time to time. And we have Dustin, followed by Daniele, who's followed by Stashu and Johnny as they rock their way up the hill. Coming into the bus stop now, 4 cars. As Stashu and Johnny are closing up little by little each lap to this third place battle. Or we may have lost another car. So we've got that one. No, he has not disconnected. He has just... He's done a mischief to himself, sadly. The battle for P3 rages on. Onboard shot here with Johnny in P6. The back car in this group fighting over P3. He's got Stachu just ahead of him. As they zoom past that disconnected car. Oh, this is it's not a good sign to see a race that should have 24 drivers in it, now with 13 or 14, sorry. It's a shame. No good servers, says Sophie. I couldn't agree more by the looks of it. It's not a good day to be a server. Move up to Stachu here, because Stachu is just about pushing Daniele along. Not really going to be a position to put a nose in though. Just has to keep trying to put that pressure on. All the while these guys fight, Mattia and Dun Dun Gizmo out in P1 and P2 have very little pressure on them. Daniele throwing an inside shape there, trying to see if it would throw Dustin off course, but it doesn't. He's got to watch out for the threat of Stachu behind, who we're riding on board with, if he's going to be doing stuff like that. Could leave him vulnerable. Going inside here into turn 1. Nothing to be done there for Stachu, unfortunately, but... Oh! That's big contact. That's big contact. From Dustin and Daniele there. That was unfortunate. We could see what they were both doing. There was no real intent there, and no one's been too harshly harmed. Dustin looks like he's the worst off out of that, but he's still right there, so not a complete disaster. Johnny the big gainer. Stashu the big gainer, really. He's now holding the P3 spot with Johnny just behind. Daniele and Dustin, some work to do to get back up there to fight with Stashu now. Nearly at the halfway point in this race. comment there from Fancy, which was the RPM driver Jake in this race. Best start of my life, P13 to P17, and got disconnected. LOL. I did see that. That was heartbreaking to watch the disconnect happen. We were riding on board near you when that happened, and it's happened to a couple of others as well. 13 left in the race. A little depressing. But yeah, no, that was an amazing start, Jake. When I saw you up in that P7 catching that P6 train, I was feeling the hype. Oh, we've got the first car to pit by the looks of it, or one of them. Dustin coming into the pits. He wants to get out of that train, I'd say, and he may even have damage. Whose car's that in the pits? That's probably mine. Pit stops underway. Johnny P4, Daniele P5. Johnny going for a move. I think he's going to get it done. He does. Sachu gives him the space. Probably thought it was better to do that than risk collision. Often the smart thing to do. But that sees Johnny now back up at the P3. He did have that P3 spot earlier in this race, you may remember, and then him and Sachu went back down to P5 and P6, so it's good to see them both recovering at the expense of some others, unfortunately. So Dustin has filtered back out into P12. He's actually only just in front of the race leader, so he's really going to want to hope that race leader has to pit soon, so he's not having to get out of his way. So here's Mattia, your race leader, and he can see P12 Dustin just in front. You do lose just about a lap when you pit. Pit stops are quite slow in these. Riding on board with the race leader. He's got an 8-second lead to P2, which is Dun Gizmo. Mattia just cruising right now by the looks of it. We jump back on board with Daniele. It's a whole different story. He's in P5 in this 3-car train for P3. Currently harassing Sachu from SSR. Who's trying to get on the bumper of Johnny for KCSR. Be interesting to see which of this little group decides to jump out of the way and hit the pits. And will anyone do it on this lap? No, is your answer. So with that early pit stop for Dustin, it makes you wonder, was it an early stop through choice, or perhaps he had a short, perhaps he underfueled at the start to take a big lead. Perhaps he underfueled at the start so that he could go faster in the early stages. Start you now down to P5. It's just all about getting your exits and your slipstreams and hanging on to the pack, because from one lap you could be at the back of your little train, and then 2 laps later, or even 1 lap later, you could be at the front of the train. So got to make sure you hang on to the train, work with it. We've got another car in the pits here. Oh, we may have a disconnection as he enters the pits. Oh, that's really disappointing. Dun Gizmo though coming into the pits from P2. Interesting to see where he comes out. Hopefully without any traffic in his way, for his sake. We've got others coming in now. Johnny, Statue, and Gizmo, all basically following each other in. Daniele staying out though. Potentially feeling like he can go a bit quicker. Still has some fuel in the tank maybe. We're joined by Roy, who I'm going to guess has also sadly been disconnected. It's been a story of that tonight. It's a game of survival at this point to see who makes it to the end. So Daniele's staying out, yet to pit in that P2 spot. Nessie and Mauro inheriting the P3 and P4 as they continue to fight. We're going to have Johnny, Dun Gizmo and Statue all exiting the pit now. They've come out in 7, 8, 9 with no traffic sort of in front or behind them. Statue's lost time to these guys. Perhaps he's had an error in the pits that we haven't seen, or maybe he had less gas, or he's put more in, or had some damage perhaps that he wanted to fix. Not quite sure. We may hear from him at the end to find out, but he's definitely lost a fair chunk of time there to this group. So Roy and Fancy in the chat, that's both the RPM drivers, so it's sad to see we've lost both of them. I know we'd lost both 10 tenths drivers before the race even begun. And our pole sitter, JK. He would have been up there fighting with Mattia for the lead, no doubt. Mattia now down in 6th place currently, but that's only because he's just exiting the pits. So that was your race leader now exiting the pits. He's come out behind Jacob, driving for Slipstream. He is not going to want to get held up by him for too much. Although he did have quite the gap to P2. So he can afford to lose a little bit of time. He's not really in a rush here. He actually can cruise a wee bit. But that's given Daniele the lead of the race. Be interesting to see how much longer he can keep going before he has to pit. RRC car in the lead. Mauro DeRocco 8 seconds behind, still yet to pit as well in P2. Nessie, Slayer, Jacob all yet to pit. Your effective race leader, once you take pit stops into account, is of course Mattia, who had the big lead before the pits. Yeah, lost half the field, Roy. It's sad. It's not good. I'm going to go ahead and guess the results from this. Can't really count. Alright, let's ride on board with your effective race leader, who's now filtered his way back into P4 once we've had another couple people pitting. That was Nessie and Slayer, who have made their pit stop. And he's all over the back of Jacob here, so he's probably just going to be hoping Jacob gets out of his way and pits, so he doesn't have to risk anything by making a move. But he's not going to want him to lose too much time. He may have gotten this done here. He has. I don't think Jacob made that too difficult for him, to be honest. And I wouldn't have either. Not really his fight. So Daniele, DeRocco and Jacob still yet to pit. Interesting to see where Daniele filters back out into this, because he was running with that group, Gizmo, Johnny and Statue before the pit stop phase, but he's stayed out so much longer than them, so it'll be interesting to see if it's going to give him any sort of gain. Or maybe a long-term gain. Maybe he's going to have a bit more pace at the end with fresher tyres, less fuel to put in the pit stop. He's just cocking over onto lap 30 now, or lap 31 I think. So still not pitting. Mattia following the 12th place car of Chris, so that's a blue flag traffic back marker. I'm actually not entirely sure of the rules, whether they have to get out of the way in this series or not. But he certainly didn't make it too difficult for him, and it's the smart thing to do. Gonna jump back to this P4 battle between Johnny and Gizmo. I feel like this is going to go all the way to the checkered flag. Statue's still a bit off them here. He's struggling to close that gap that he lost in the pit stop phase. We've got Mauro De Rocco now pitting from P2. That says Mattia filter back up to P2. Now Johnny P3. Dun Dun Gizmo P4. That'll be your effective top three once Daniele eventually comes in for the pit stop. Last to pit. Going really long. I did have some suspicions earlier in the race that he was saving a bit of gas, so could be all part of the plan. The master plan. We may end up with a RRC 1-2 yet, as we thought on the opening lap. Johnny B hanging on to the back of Dun Dun Gizmo. Whoa! We had a car stopped. Oh, that's another disconnect. And then there were 11. Such a shame to see. Honestly surprised I haven't been disconnected. I'm so far away physically from the server being in New Zealand. I should have the least stability. Daniele's still going. Pretty low on fuel now. Can't be too far away from making that pit stop. We've got 20 minutes left in the race. I dare say we're getting to the limits of what that full tank will be capable of. Timing seems to go crazy, or is he going again? No, he's not going again. And the timing goes crazy until they are gone from the server. It seems to do that. Once they're gone completely, then it comes right. Until then, you've just got to mentally figure it out yourself. Yes, unfortunately I have experience with it now. Seeing how it seems to react. I need to go back to the fight for P3 though. Because Gizmo is all over Johnny now. Daniele's still carrying on. Surely this is the final lap he can do. Losing quite a lot of time to Mattia now too, so... Tyres are obviously gone. Yeah, of course, it's not confirmed, Roy. It does seem logical at this point. See how it goes, eh? See what the big boss says. And what happened here? What happened to Statue? No. Gizmo. Johnny. It was Johnny. What happened to Johnny? I missed him, obviously, have an issue. Goodness. The Stashu's now ahead of him, and Dundon has P3 all on his own. Daniele now in the pits, so really interested to see. But yeah, it was right at the end of that fuel tank, like I thought. Be interesting to see where he comes out now. He's not going to have to put a whole lot of fuel in, so the pit stop shouldn't take too long. He's He's a fair way behind Dustin. I think he may have lost a lot of time on those old tyres. He's going to be just in front of Nessie. He's got a few seconds. But he's in front of Nessie. He's P6 after that. With a full grid, it would be interesting to see what that position was. But we have far less than a full grid now. Far less than half of a full grid even, to be fair. So P1, Mattia, RRC so far. 15 minutes left in this race. He can still end it all himself. That's not out of the question. Dun Gizmo, the racing engineers in P2, 13.5 seconds off the lead. Johnny B, P3, 20 seconds off the lead. But Stashu's right on him. The fight for P3 is not done. And Dustin, he's not too far back off them either, so we've got 15 minutes left to go. If Johnny and Stashu can fight any fiercer, they may well be slowed down enough that Dustin can join them and make an even greater fight for P3. So I'll be willing Dustin along. But currently, they're side by side into the bus stop. Who's it going to be? It's Statue. He's got the P3 now. It's a slipstream battle. This is the only fight on track at the moment. Oh no! Disaster strikes for Mattia. That's a disconnect for your race leader. That's Dun Gizmo now inheriting P1. Statue inheriting P2. Johnny B inheriting P3. Oh, you don't want to see it happen to the race leader. Although we saw it happen to the pole sitter right before the race even started, so it's just disaster all round. We'll just enjoy what we've got. So Dun Gizmo, fiercely fighting his way into P1 there. I kid. Johnny B now back in front of Stashu. These guys are just slipstreaming all the way to the end. Perhaps they're trying to use some tactics to catch back up. Yeah, Jonathan, another one down to 10. It's quite depressing, isn't it? Not what you want to see happening, that's for sure. Definitely not used to seeing this. It's usually quite stable. Dachu following Johnny up the hill. 12 minutes to go. We're on lap 39. Dun with a 7-second lead over Johnny. The race leader did have a much bigger gap than that, but we have since lost our race leader. So we've had to find the next one. That's Dun. Dun Gizmo. Johnny B and Stachu have been fighting pretty much this whole hour so far, the 50 minutes that we've been going. Hopefully they can keep it going nice and clean for the final 10. Interesting to see if they can use the slipstreaming to catch up to Dun Gizmo. Does look like Dun Gizmo might be stretching the lead out slightly. That is not nice to see when you see the cars just going straight through another one that's disconnected but still sitting there on the track. So the slipstream battle continues. Will I think that gap to Dun Gizmo from these two is actually just sitting pretty stale at about 7.5 seconds. Might as well take some time to look at the liveries of these beautiful cars that we have. The ones that are still luckily enough to be remaining in the session. We've got Lasan here, currently running in P9, and P9 sadly is the final runner. Nice pale blue livery of AMS2, and then P8 we've got Jacob in the slipstream livery with the checkered flag on the hood. Mauro De Rocco in the independent livery. Oh, your latest disconnection. Nessie in the bright orange NRT. Daniele RRC, the sole remaining RRC after our race leader Mattia was disconnected. Dustin, semi-slick racing. Still got two semi-slick racing cars in this race. Could we point our fingers to a semi-slick racing conspiracy for the disconnects? Perhaps. I kid. Then we have Johnny, KCSR livery. I'm a big fan of the KCSR livery actually. I really like simple black and white, and then the metallic colours running through the middle. Quite classy. And this is of course your only battle on the track. KCSR Johnny chasing down the highest ranked semi-slick racing car, Stashu. Down to 9 runners. Although actually, Rocco's still, so we're down to 8. Eight from 24, that's a third. We've got a third of a grid. Can we have a podium? Imagine if we didn't have enough finishes to get a podium. We need at least 3 finishes for a podium. Surely we don't have more than that disconnecting. At this point, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to rule out that everyone doesn't disconnect by the end. I think we now have more viewers on the stream than we do drivers in the race. Yeah, I got my fingers crossed for the final 7 minutes too, Roy. Surely we can get 8 finishes. Yeah. Got disconnected, what a hell. I couldn't agree more. There's going to be a lot of people with that same thought. A lot of people in that position in this server. It's quite depressing to see what J-Turn does about that, but I can only imagine personally that it's going to be rerun at some point, but we'll just have to see what happens. But not an ideal situation for anyone. Unless you're Dun Gizmo, of course. He's inherited the lead, and provided he doesn't also get disconnected, he's got a race win. And even if it doesn't count, it's bragging rights over the other 7 remaining in the race. Johnny B and Statue not giving up till the end. 6 minutes to go now. If one of these guys gets disconnected, I'm going to be heartbroken. It's the only little bit of action we've got left. Yeah, extremely depressing, mate. I feel for you. I feel for JK, who was booted from pole before he could even start. There was 5 people that couldn't even start the race, and then probably just about 20 that have been booted throughout the race. So, tragic story for so many. A lot of hard work put in, unfortunately, for technical issues to happen. I mean, technical difficulties happen to everyone, whether it's real life or sim racing, I guess. But it's never fun. Never fun. Four minutes left on the clock. Battle Royale server Slayer 72. Bang on. Last man standing. We've got 8 remaining. Will we have a finisher? Will they all disconnect before the time runs out? Yet to find out. Stay tuned. I should have been hosting some kind of betting to see who would be the next car to get disconnected throughout the race. Could have been profitable. Yeah, hosted in Middle Earth with me. Yeah, they must have been. They must have been. I actually live about 10 minutes down the road from a couple of the places where they filmed that movie. I suppose a lot of people in this country did, because they filmed it just about everywhere. Two minutes on the clock. I'd say we've got a couple of laps left. Who's it going to be? Out of Statue enjoying the slipstreaming battle that's been going this whole race. They are going to be very sick of each other by the end of this one. Mordor scenes filmed near me, still orcs about now. I agree. Orcs all around here too, to be honest. There's orcs everywhere you go in this world. Gonna be the last lap that we're on now. Who's gonna take this P2 spot? Statue or Johnny? They've been swapping the whole race. Has Statue done just enough? I think he might have. I think this gap's gonna be too big for Johnny to close up on this final lap. Statue might have just been saving, just slipstreaming with him and then teasing him right till the end. Because Johnny's struggling now. Who's got boost left? That's a good point. I doubt anyone's got any at this point. Maybe Statue had some left and Johnny didn't, because it certainly looks like it. We'll jump on board with our race leader. He's going to come over in P1, which he inherited some laps ago. Well done, Gizmo. Tough luck to everyone else, including Mattia, who led the race from start to disconnect. Statue P2, Johnny P3. We've got Dustin, the other semi-stock racing car, coming through in P4. Daniele P5. Couple of cars to finish. Jacob and Lasan. 7 cars out of 25, I think. Sad story, but it happens. It happens. I'm sure it'll be resolved. The lucky 7. who was spared from disconnect. What a race. By the top view, the ones that were lucky enough to remain. Just going to hang fire for a few minutes and see if anyone wants to join me in the broadcast to speak about the race, but I'm not sure that'll happen. There was barely anyone left in it. Thanks to all who stuck around to watch. I feel a lot of those who stuck around to watch were those who were disconnected and wanted to see what happened. Such a shame, such a shame. I'm sure next time will be much smoother. This is the only one this season that's been a bit like that, so I'm sure it'll get resolved. Alright, I'm going to sign on out now. I don't think we're going to get anyone joining. So, enjoy yourselves. Thanks for joining on the stream, and see you next time in round 4. Oh, wait. No, I've got someone. Hang fire. Got a talker? Hello?
Yeah. Hello, you alright?
Yeah, very good. How are you?
This is from broadcast, well, server 1.
Oh, yeah. I see there's no one in server 1 now, so you might as well jump in this one. I've got no one from server 2 in here with me. How did your race go?
Yeah, won it.
How did server 1 go? Because we unfortunately had mass disconnects in server 2, where we actually we had 7 finishes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's not good.
What about yourself?
We had issues when we first joined the server. J-Turn did a reset and like a million other things. The poor guy was stressed out his head.
Oh no.
But he managed to get it going again.
Nice.
And we managed to get the race underway. Went quite well. Qualified pole. Took me 3rd win this season. So
well done.
Going quite well.
Yeah. No, that's awesome result. Good work.
Nice
I think they're going to have to toss the results from our server, unfortunately.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But no.
Good test session.
Yeah, good test. Yeah, good test session. A lot of hard work goes into it, so it's pretty sad to see, but it happens, I guess. I'm glad you had a good time and you got a win.
Yeah, it was a hard fought race actually. I think.
Yeah.
I took the hard tyre for the first stint.
Yep.
With the idea, let's go long. I'm going to be down on pace, but slipstream's that big. It means the tyre difference is negligible, so you just sit up the rear end.
Gotcha.
All down the straights.
So you just played the long game and then stung them at the end, eh?
Well, I wanted to cover off a late safety car, so that was the big risk, as it is.
Yep.
As the safety car comes out late.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'll go as far as I can on the hards until the lap times are starting to drop, which was consistently in the 12.6s to 12.8s.
Nice.
On the hards.
Very
started to drop to 13s towards the end, so swapped out for them and yeah, managed to pull out a good win. So Hard fought. I think a lot of battling going on, trying to make your way back up the grid once I'd switched to the softs because obviously lost a bit of time by going longer. But I was on fresh enough tyres that theirs had started to wear and
Yeah.
could reel them in and get the win.
Could make the most of that advantage at the end. Well, nicely done. Strategy was obviously bang on, and you made good use of it.
Yeah, it's a great race.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that Server 1 race at some point.
Yeah, but it was a great race. Up
It
and
sounds
down
like
the grid,
sounds
mate.
like there was more to watch than our one.
I think for the most of the race, the top 8 were really neck and neck, and then the leaders we broke away a little bit midway through. But I'm not joking; it was like the top 8 were just nose to tail for ages.
Oh, that's great. That's how you want it to be.
Yeah, the slipstream here just made for some great racing.
Yeah. As long as you could stay on the slipstream, you could just hang on. And I noticed that, and even in our one, we had very definite 4 to 5 car groupings all around the track, especially in the early stages. And then as soon as someone would drop away, you'd have these little groups, but with little gaps between them.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It was like MX5 racing, but with
Yeah.
the horsepower.
I've got
So the
Minimus in here too. I'll see if he wants to come in and have some words. Hello, Minimus. It looks like we've got a full MVRC crew coming to join me in the broadcast server too. I'm going to get everyone in here to speak. How was your race, Minimus? No mic? No mic. Let's see if any of these other guys. We've got Harm and Savage down in the audience. Let's see if they want to come in and join.
Right.
Oh, Minimus, he's here. He's here.
Yeah, I'm here. It was a fairly good race. I made one mistake. I don't know. I had to check afterwards what happened. I think a bit weird line defending and then locked going over curb while braking and spun. Lost a lot of time there. Otherwise, I think pace was good and could have been in top 3. In the end, I caught Harm. Did a lot of work there to catch him, only to see that race was 1 lap too short.
Yeah.
They're going to rerun it, I think. I just heard.
They'll be running the Server 2 one at the very least, I imagine, because we only had 7 people finish. We've got Dun Gizmo's joined us now in here. He's the only one actually, I think, in here that was in the Server 2 race, and he inherited the lead. How did you go there, Gizmo? Did you enjoy that one?
Yes, it was an enjoyable race for sure. There was quite a nice battle with Johnny and Stachu in the first part of the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that so many people got disconnected.
Well, Johnny and Stashu were battling like that all the way to the flag, but no, it was unfortunate to see Mattia get disconnected after leading for so long, but you got the inherited victory there, so that was quite nice.
Mattia would have won definitely easily this race.
He had a big gap. He had a big gap, but just got stung by that unlucky disconnection, like so many others.
It was like Russian roulette.
Yeah, it was a bit of a. It was just trying to wait to see who was going to be next. It was quite sad.
Yeah, because if more people would have been on the server, the traffic management would play a bigger role, and this would be also quite fun to do.
It certainly looked like a pretty fun racing combo with being able to slipstream and stay on everyone.
Yes, the slipstream was very very strong, and the push to pass system, you had to manage that. Look if someone is used this, if he is on cooldown and stuff like that. It was very fun combo. I didn't expect that it would be as that fun.
Well, nicely done, man. And the other, who else have we got? You've got Savage, Paddy, and Harm as well. How did you guys go in Server 1? Because obviously I don't know what happened in Server 1. I'm going to have to rewatch that race, but how did you guys go?
The qualifying was fun. We could do some teamwork, towing each other. Managed to nail it on the last try there.
Oh, that's awesome! Being able to get that sort of strategy nailed, eh?
Yeah, we had plans for bump drafting and everything, but it turned out to be a bit too hectic race for doing stuff like that. Enough close racing, even without us touching each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jake was mad fast again.
Always is. No, it's good. He's always rapid. What about you, Harm? Are you there? How did you go?
Yeah. Well, I was caught up by Minimus almost at the end, so
Ah,
I had to scramble.
nice.
It took all my effort to keep him behind because I was also on older tires. I think about 5 laps or so. But so the ending was pretty close, but the middle part was okay. Was not much going on. And in the first part, I was first, and then we had a collision. I'm not sure what happened. I will need to look at the replay whose fault it is, if it is anyone's fault. But
I watched it
I lost
all.
about 10 seconds with this, so still fourth. So that's unexpected to a degree.
That's a pretty good result
But,
considering an issue like that. That's awesome work.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had a good race afterwards.
Nice.
Just had to put it in the past and just drive, not think about it, and I think that worked out.
Well done. I think I'm gonna wrap. I think I'm gonna wrap my stream up. But thanks heaps for joining me in here, guys, to give some thoughts.
Well done, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Well done, everyone.
Did you?
Except for the technical issues.
Yeah, there was plenty of those.
Yeah, but it sounds like
I
we're
had to
gonna
say-
have a restart.
I had to
Yes.
say that Community Cup has been so reliable usually. That something like this is it's kind of
True.
I'm quite new to
going
the.
to happen at some point.
Yeah, I'm quite new to the Community Cup
Unfortunately.
myself, so just this year, but this is obviously the first issue I've seen. Everything's been pretty smooth, so it's got to be out of character, that's for sure.
Yep.
AMS2 doing AMS2 things.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm gonna shut down this broadcast room, but thanks heaps, guys. Have a good evening.
You too.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
hosting.
you.
Thanks for hosting, Quado.
Yeah, anytime. I love it. Have a good one.
You too. Bye
Bye
bye.
next time. Bye bye.